My name's Tiffany, and welcome to the Foxey Sunrise YouTube channel. Today we have a pick a card reading, and today's pick a card reading is going to be about how we can step into our soul's power. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more readings like this one. And all the timestamps will be down below in the description box. And there's no limit on how many groups you'd like to pick. So let me go ahead and show you each group. This is group 1, protection, number 24. Group 2 is focus, number 14, in reverse. And group 3 is masculine, number 42. Okay, like I said, all the timestamps are down below in the description box, and I will see you at your group. Welcome, group 1. If you chose the protection card, this is your reading about how you can step into your soul's power. Boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Yeah, this woman here is naked in this nest, and oh, that's interesting. She's naked in this nest, and the first thing that came to my mind was vulnerability. She's not protected by anything but this bird. Oh wow, that's okay. And this bird is in the sky and the ethers, if you will, and so I feel that this bird is a metaphor for your spiritual team. If you are a spiritual person, I know not everyone expresses themselves in that way, but I'm really feeling that this bird is like a guide for you, a spirit guide. Maybe you have an attraction with red birds, red cardinals. She's not really looking, and she's not really seeing this bird. So I'm also wondering if this group is unaware that they have protection on the other side. You may be feeling in a vulnerable, naked space as well. So if you are spiritual, or if you're just beginning your spiritual journey, I definitely encourage you to call upon whether nature is your spiritual church, or if you pray, or mantras or chanting, but to really rely on your guides, your spiritual guides, or your animal guides, nature guides, to really assist you and be your safe space as you're experiencing this feeling of vulnerability. The other thing that came to my mind was this nest almost looks too big for her. So I'm also wondering if you're being called back to yourself because you're feeling this sort of subconscious, innate urge to be in communion with yourself, because you're outgrowing your surroundings, you're outgrowing your group of friends, you're outgrowing what you originally called home and called your safe space. And now you're being, and this is a waning crescent too. This feels like someone who's being brought back into the dark. And by that I just mean you're being brought back into your internal spaces, you're being called back inside of yourself. So this may mean, and I know we're in quarantine the time that I'm filming this, but this could mean that you just aren't really feeling up for socializing, and you may even feel too sensitive right now to be around anyone, and you feel safest with your candles and crystals and your tarot cards, and doing yoga and just really nurturing yourself in that way. Yeah, this woman is in a fetal position, so it's almost like you're being possibly emotionally, you're being brought back into the space of being a child and feeling as though you need to be more tender and nurturing with yourself at this time. So to step into your soul's power at this point in time that you're watching this video, you're being called to draw inward and to rely on yourself and your spiritual team or nature, or whatever makes you feel that feeling of protection and stability and support. I also want to mention there is a harmony that can be had when we are being called away from people. It's almost like we're drawing back inward to do an inventory and to recalibrate. So this will be how you realign with your soul's power as well. And by doing that, you'll experience harmony and balance internally. And then you can decide if you want to be around humans again. Okay. How can group 1 step into their soul's power? How can group 1 step into their soul's power? How can group 1 step into their soul's power? Oh, holy moly. Group 1 step into their soul's power. Okay. Okay. One more. How can group 1 step into their soul's power? Whoa. This one was in reverse, but it kind of popped out sideways, so I'm going to leave it in reverse, actually. So we have the High Priestess, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, and we have the Fool. So, again, you're being asked to step back, take a step back, to draw in, to pull your energy back. The High Priestess is super duper, is probably the most intuitive card in the tarot. She is known for her knowledge of the hidden and the unknown. She is known for being a person who is cultivating her craft in solitude. And being very much in tune with her inner and outer worlds, with the inner and outer realms. And she is also very attuned to herself as well. And all of this happens because she takes the time away from others to do this internal digging and studying. So this part of your soul's power is being highly intuitive and sensitive. So I think this emphasizes, this protection card, there's a need to again, cultivate strong boundaries through getting to know yourself and what you will and will not stand for, as well as recognizing when you are feeling kind of low in energy, when you're feeling drained of energy, when you're feeling that you aren't really able to give as much to others, when it's time to pull back and give to yourself. We also have the Eight of Wands and the Fool card in reverse, and to me this is just another emphasis of needing to slow down and a pause on any newness. There's a need to kind of look, it's almost the idea of taking a few steps back, reviewing before you're catapulted forward for this new beginning. And your soul is really wanting you to understand how your intuition works and how you get instinctual, intuitive insight. And there may be a lot of noise right now, which is another reason why your soul is wanting you to take a step back. So let's see any messages from this deck about how to step into your soul's power. Step into your soul's power. Invitation. So, and completion. So a couple of things. You're being invited to tie up any loose ends, whether it's from habits or a mindset or the way you have originally operated. Your soul is wanting you to kind of ascend your usual impulses and crutches. Also, open invitation. I feel that this group is needing to invite and to ask for your guides or even your higher self, your soul, to come in and kind of show you the way. So this open invite to me is your soul asking you to invite this higher energy to guide you into how to step into your highest authenticity and your soul's power. Let's see. We're gonna do, oops. Okay. Okay. So, I think you can see everything. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we're going to get an affirmation card. What does group 1 need to know about stepping into their soul's power? Also, just being open to the process and this change. Just being open in general is what I'm getting to. This. From being open, I think you can also just magnetize and attract this spiritual experience that your soul is wanting you to have, or guidance that you may be looking for. I'm surrounded by love and support. That's amazing. Yeah, so it's you're being asked. Your soul is like, invite us to come in and communicate with you. Whatever I choose to believe becomes true for me. So yeah, this group is just needing a little bit of fluidity and experimentation, starting with something small. and allowing yourself to be guided by your instincts. And again, I want to mention, like, it's really important with the High Priestess here and the protection card here that you are taking as much time as you can to be with yourself, to understand how your soul operates, to understand how your soul spiritually connects, and to understand how your instinct and intuition works, because that's a part of your soul's power, is just knowing. I'm hearing psychic hearing, so your intuition, your soul's power may come through music, signs, maybe even just ideas that pop into your head, and then a clear knowing. So your intuition may come through, you just know, and you can't really explain it, and you're always right when you trust that clear knowing. So those are the two that I'm hearing. We're going to get one more message for this group on how they can connect to their soul's power. These are Bible verses, so I hope for anyone who isn't really into Christianity, I just think this is an interesting way to divine. So let's see what comes out. That one's kind of weird. Okay. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for many. I don't know how I feel about that one, to be honest. The main thing that's coming to my mind with this is the ability to serve others means that we have to be in the right state of mind and in the receiving mode, receiving connections, receiving information, divine information, receiving intuitive insights. But if things are kind of chaotic, if we aren't really sure left from our right, figuratively, then we won't be able to serve others. Our soul won't be able to kind of live out what it needs to do. And so, honestly, it is what it is with that. But your final message is really to take care of yourself, to understand yourself, to listen to yourself, and to be open to the process, and slow down. You're being asked to slow down, and this new beginning is on pause until you can kind of come back into a balance, to rebalance and to kind of recalibrate your system so that you're more attuned to who you truly are and to your soul, and to be able to hear its call. That's a big one. To be able to hear your soul's call, you need to be in a quiet space. To be able to hear your spirit guides, to be able to hear the animal guides, to be able to see these messages, these synchronicities, you must be quiet, in a quiet space. Okay, that is your reading, group 1, on how you can step into your soul's power. You have a powerful soul indeed, very magnetic, very intuitive. You just need to set some boundaries so that you're not in a vulnerable space of feeling drained or not filled up personally before you go out and interact with other people. But you are definitely loved and supported. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. I also have a podcast, and those links will be in the description box below if you're interested in that as well. And I will see you all again soon. Hello, Group 2. If you chose the Focus card, this is your reading on how to step into your soul's power. I heard the word scatterbrained. I am also feeling that this group is needing to focus less on the external and more on the internal. You're missing your messages is another thing I'm hearing. It's all happening inside is also another thing that I'm hearing. The change in the experience is happening inside. Okay. Did I draw? Yeah, okay. So group 2 needs to know about how to step into their soul's power. Group 2, just group 2 need to know about stepping into their soul's power. I'm getting Gemini energy, and as I say that and I break the deck, we have the Lovers coming through. Yeah, I'm getting strong Gemini energy. I also would like to mention that I do have a link in the description box to tap into your birth chart's energy. So if you know your specific time of birth, the birth chart will be a little bit more specific and clear. So if you're interested in digging into that, definitely check out that link. But yeah, Gemini came through for this group. Okay, what's group 2? Whoa. Hermit, wow, okay. Group 2 needs to know about how to step into their soul's power. Group 2 needs to know about how to step into their soul's power. What does group 2 need to know about how to step into their soul's power? Group 2 needs to know about how to step. Whoa. Okay. Group 2 needs to know how to step into. Dude, I keep. Group 2. And the Emperor. Wow. 3 major arcana cards. Okay, it is interesting that I said focused on the external and not the internal, because we have the Emperor card right here, which is very much externalized power, moving through sun or masculine energy, and almost shying away from the internal, from solitude. I'm getting this phrase of like the emperor is always wanting to be seen, is always in the forefront, but the goddess or the empress is hard to catch. She's hard to keep a hold on to. And to me, that just means the emperor's always out doing things, but the goddess, she only comes out for a select few. Otherwise, you're not going to see her, and you're not really going to know what's going on with her, because the feminine has more of a mystery to her. So we have the Hermit, we have the Tower in reverse, and we have the Ten of Cups. So a couple of things here. We have another Mercurial card. So I mentioned Gemini, but we have Virgo here in the Hermit. But your soul is really wanting you to, again, there's this theme so far of solitude and spending time alone, spending time reflecting, spending time on your own with yourself in quiet space, and maybe a little bit of shadow work, especially with the Tower here in reverse. There could be sort of an avoidance of a divine destruction. It's like, one thing I'm getting is there's a sense that there's something breaking down, but there's a denial. And so it's easy to say, avoid this change or the shift that is meant to happen and is bound to happen by focusing on everything else or everyone else. But again, this Hermit card is calling you back inward to understand what is really breaking down. Another thing could be that you sense something is about to shift and change, but you're not really understanding it, you're not seeing it, it's not happening outside of you, and that's the only like focus that you have your attention on. So because you're out in the world and you're like, nothing is breaking down, but I feel like there's something shifting inside of me. Again, emphasis on the inside. So the Hermit card is wanting you to come back inside and understand what this breakdown is inviting you toward, what this Tower card is inviting you to look at. Because there's something going on here that I sense is being avoided. And it can't be avoided for much longer. And I also want to say too, with this Ten of Cups here, again, there's this sort of more feminine, emotional card. And so the fulfillment here is coming from giving yourself that attention, giving yourself that space and time to go inward, to focus inward. And I feel this Tower will be this breakdown, this destruction, this divine intervention will be manageable and understood, and in fact even a fulfilling and much needed breakdown, just from shifting your attention from the external to the internal. So your soul is wanting you to take care of this internal stuff before it can fully shift into its power, into this feeling of sort of emotional harmony and fulfillment. And use your Emperor energy to sort of face this internal issue as well. So bring your Emperor with you. Bring your Emperor strength with you as you're moving through this sort of solitude, internal quest, and to really identify what needs to be shifted and changed. So pull back is the main thing your soul is saying. Your soul is calling you to focus your energy and your attention inside. Okay, any messages for group 2? Messages for group 2 about their step into their soul's power. Dream. Interesting. And structure. Wow, that's so interesting. This to me, patience, okay, agreement. Okay, so again, it's so interesting. There's a need to bring structure to your internal world. And it's going to take time. It may not be the most exciting thing if you're used to just being out in the world and entertained by the external. There's this need to clean up and to reorganize your internal landscape is what I'm getting here. Yeah, and there's also something wanting to be birthed, but it can't come through until, again, you kind of assess the stuff that's going on inside. And with the patient card here, and the agreement card here, and the curiosity card here, wow, we have depth, vitality, nurture. This is crazy. And change. Wow, all of these cards really going deep and revitalizing yourself by going deep, nurturing yourself through this process of going deep and within. And also, curiosity makes me think you'll need to bring a sort of lightness through this process, so it's not heavy, and also so you remain engaged and not kind of bogged down by the heaviness of doing internal work, and inner work. But the patience and the agreement card is like you need to really promise yourself and commit to yourself the time and the space to do this. And I really feel like this is something that you need to do daily, away from others, so that you can kind of show up to the work with a clear mind and in your energy alone, and not in a bunch of other different energies. Because I'm sure there's still what I want to say is I'm sure it's fine to have that one person with you, but your soul is like, I want to chill alone and figure my shit out. And then I can figure out what's going on with humans later. But yeah, you have I also get this group has a lot of ideas, but again, like, you need to make the time with yourself alone to organize all of that stuff and to commit to something, to commit to a practice of internal exploration and releasing and understanding. This seems like a sort of a daily hygiene type of thing that this group needs to be able to continue to show up in your soul's power. Okay. Alright, one card for group 2, how to step into their soul's power. Whoa. gonna take the bottom card. Well, okay. I said I was gonna take the bottom card and I didn't, and then it popped out again. My body is a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. I have two things with this. One is grounding, needing to ground, and two is I wonder, like, if there's anything being held in your body, and your body is trying to tell you something that you may not be listening to because you're so focused on the external. Your body is kind of telling you, hey, I'm kind of drained, I really want to come back inside, or yeah, wow. And I'm getting the energy of air energy of kind of living in that like dreamy, like daydreamy, like manifesting 5D space, but forgetting that you're a human with a body, and your body is also an intelligent like machine trying to show you and tell you what it needs, and that it needs rest, physically, energetically. It needs alone time and space to sort of continue to process whatever reboots or upgrades, if you will, that it's going through. And so really appreciating your body for the communication that it's trying to give you and has been trying to give you. So again, slow down and be patient with your body. It may need some extra time as it moves through these energy shifts and these changes with the Tower card here. Okay, one more card. One more card for group 2. Well, too many. Okay, that's interesting. Be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. This just makes me feel like a shape-shifting energy. Like there's this I'm hearing be strong in who you are. So it's just this sort of identifying with other people's feelings too much, or even molding yourself from person to person too often. And your soul wants you to just ground and be that cypress, that old cypress tree, and not so flexible and fluid isn't the right word, because those are important, but I guess it's just like so like flaccid, like so the best way I can say it that's coming to me right now is like, don't use your empathy as a weakness or a crutch. Like, take responsibility for how you feel at any moment in time, and also witness how other people are feeling without having to like be all in it. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that again, I'm looking at the focus card and being brought back inward. So instead of like looking out and being like, oh my gosh, this person's upset, I think I feel upset. It's like, okay, this person's upset. Am I upset too? Or am I just identifying with them too much? Or am I just shifting my energy to make them feel comfortable? That kind of thing. Again, checking in with your body when you are with other people, and not just being like, I'm an empath, so I feel everybody's feelings. No, you really don't have. It doesn't have to be that way. Definitely empower yourself more than that, and take responsibility for how you feel and not how others feel or how others are making you feel. No one makes you feel any kind of way. And that makes me look at the Emperor card. So there's this sort of like need to kind of recalibrate what your Emperor energy has been, and ascending to like a higher expression of that, as well as what your feminine energy has been, and ascending to a higher expression of that as well, which I think is really beautiful. So yeah, take some time to yourself, group 2. You can chill with people anytime. And yeah, that is your reading. Definitely let me know what you think down below. Comment, like, share, and subscribe for more. I also have a podcast if anyone is interested in that, and that'll be, there's more information about that in the description box below as well. And I will see you again soon. Hello, group 3. If you chose the masculine, this is your reading and how to step into your soul's power. Take action. Take action. Unionize. So I'm looking at how this says lunar god. Lunar is feminine, and god, of course, is typically seen as masculine. And so there's a need to... This group feels like they're very much leaning hard on one aspect of their being. So whether it's you're leaning too hard on your feminine or you're leaning too hard on your masculine, you're naturally supposed to be a beautiful mix of both. And so your soul is wanting you to find your power through both. One isn't more powerful than the other. One isn't better than the other. So your soul's power is coming from this sort of more fluid, androgynous energy. So if you're not taking action, but you're dreaming a lot, you may be more in your lunar energy, your feminine energy. If you're taking too much action and not resting enough and dreaming enough and receiving enough, then you may be more in your sun or masculine energy. So let's see. What does group 3 need to know about stepping into their soul's power? What does group 3 need to know about stepping into their soul's power? I'm feeling the energy of rushing, and I'm also feeling the energy of, okay, there's like this blindness to your value, or almost like a stinginess of maybe your energy, your money, like a hoarding of your money, or a fear of spending money, or just something surrounding, and also not nurturing yourself. And so there's this feeling of like hoarding on energies that are meant to be released and walked away from, because you're not seeing your worth, and because you're not nurturing yourself and protecting yourself and holding yourself at high value, and also even rushing without thinking into situations or scenarios because of this sort of scarcity mindset or energy. Yeah, again, it's like there's this need for harmony with your feminine side and your masculine side, your feelings of confidence and worth, and your feelings of being receptive and trusting that you are going to attract what is meant for you, instead of just taking. Okay. Let's just forgive. I'm hearing your powers and your magnetism. Try less is another thing I'm hearing. What messages does group 3 need about how to step into your soul's power? Group 3 needs to know about stepping into their soul's power. Okay. Group 3, stepping into their soul's power. As I was shuffling, I just had this feeling of like, will it come? Will it come? Will it come while I'm waiting? I think that's another thing too. It's like, don't think of it as waiting, because I feel like that's kind of a perspective of like, something has more power than you do. And so waiting is more of like, okay, I'm stuck here until someone makes a move kind of thing, versus being like, oh, it'll just come. So it's not like you're waiting and just in this space of just like suspense almost. It's more of just like, it's you're needing to kind of approach your just life as like, I'm not worried about it because I know it's gonna happen. I kind of want to pull another card. Any other cards? Wow, and then everything just comes out. Comfort, okay. Any other cards for group 3? Any other cards for group 3? Perseverance. And listen and curiosity. This curiosity, when I was looking at the card, I was just thinking release control and listen instead of doing. What does your gut say? I'm wondering if this group acts super fast. Like, I'm getting Aries energy. There's just this need to like hurry up and act instead of like taking a pause and assessing the situation if it's really meant. In Aries energy, there's some, I do want to say that there's an intuition with sort of just acting, but I feel that this group is needing to kind of slow down to reassess and rebalance. If you're not in a space of balance and equilibrium, then I feel it's just impulsive. But if you've already kind of cultivated like sharpening your intuition and knowing how to naturally listen in and be curious in that like instinctual intuition and voice, then taking action becomes more of a like divine answering to a call. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, this group, I feel for a good bit of you, it's more of like, even if you identify more with feminine energy, there's just a need to kind of slow down. And maybe even some of you take things way too seriously. So there's a need to kind of lighten the energy as well. Like, there's no rush is what I want to keep saying. There's no rush. It's gonna happen. It'll happen when it happens. Yeah, this group just needs to relax a little bit. I'm also getting Scorpio energy too. Just this energy of feeling the need to sort of fight for what you want versus just allowing it to just happen. And also a need to identify why you feel you need to kind of struggle and force things and why they can't just happen for you. Yeah, so if you're curious about your birth chart, if you know your specific time of birth, I do have a link in the description box down below if you're guided towards that information. If you have your time of birth, it's much more accurate and specific, so I just want to mention that. Yeah, this group needs to just lighten up a little bit and kind of tap into, I'm really feeling inner child energy is important here too. Like, tap into the part of you that's just like playing to play, that's just doing because, like there's no motive, there's no like goal in mind. Like, release the goal orientation part of your like identity and just like let go. just relax. I'm getting like this image of a hammock of just like taking a day of doing nothing. I feel this group would I don't know. I feel like this group wouldn't really some people in this group may not really understand how to just sort of stop doing and start being. And knowing that you're worthy even when you're not doing anything at all. Yeah, your soul's power is in the way you step into your soul's power is by doing less and seeing how attractive you actually are and magnetic to the things that are really meant to be a part of your journey in life. Yeah, this perseverance card here just makes me think that some of you may have had this sort of upbringing of having to fight for things and having to, like, everything was sort of a battle. But that's not a part of your soul's power. That could be a part of your story, but that isn't how the story ends. let's get... this group is, I guess, has had to lean more on their masculine for some of you. Even if you feel like you're much softer than that, but it's just having to be the force, having to be the grown-up, having to be responsible too soon, too early is also what I'm getting. Not necessarily like, oh, I haven't been able to, I don't even know. I feel like what I was gonna say is kind of sexist and polarizing, so I just won't say it. But it doesn't have to be like a typical masculine type of thing if you are more identified with being feminine. But even just the idea of like, I had to grow up too soon, I had to grow up fast, could be another sort of experience. Yeah, your soul's power comes with ease. So, and also just releasing the part of your life, really acknowledging it, but also letting go of the part of your life where you were in this sort of survival perseverance mode. Like, you have those tools now, and that's great, but your soul is like, let's just experience something different. Let's just be in our like lunar energy and our feminine energy, and let's see what receiving feels like. Let's see what I'm brought if I'm just doing less, and experiencing your worth through just being here, through just existing. Okay, any messages for group 3? I live in the paradise of my own creation. Paradise is a big word, and creation is another big word. Creation, I am just pure magic. I love that. Paradise, again, makes me think of just like that hammock imagery I was getting of just relaxing. You can relax now. You can relax now. You can play now, creating, being in your feminine of just moving fluidly through life, and knowing that when you do that, nothing's going to catch on fire. You're going to be provided for. And incorporating that part of your energy a lot more and experiencing that, you don't have to let go of this warrior that you truly are, this warrior that you have had to be. But your soul is like, please, let's experience another superpower that may be a little bit uncomfortable and different, and it may not even seem to make sense. It's like, how is my power happening and being exerted when I'm just in this hammock at the park? How does that make any sense? You know, how am I going to make money just by relaxing? I don't know. Let's see. Your soul is inviting you. This is an invitation to showing up differently in the world and seeing how you're just as powerful and maybe even more from showing up this way instead of the way that you had to show up during the first, decades of your life. So yeah, and then I'm pure magic. If this is true, when you believe this, anything can happen, and you're magnetic. Your soul's power is, I am an attractor, and it will happen. It'll happen even more easily when I'm not straining myself and forcing. I actually like this one more, so I'll give you these two. For your final messages, we have, but may the righteous be glad and rejoice before God. May they be happy and joyful. That one's cute, but this one, this one really hits. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. That is so awesome. Yeah, this is just showing me it's time to change. Yes, that part of you, that warrior, is still a part of who you are, but there's no need to fight. And again, it's like you will learn God's will. This isn't who, I was saying earlier, this isn't who your soul was meant to be. It's a part of your life story, but that's not like the end of the story. And so, yeah, Romans 12:2 and Psalm 68:3. Okay, group 3, that is your message on how to step into your soul's power. Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more readings like this one. And I also have a podcast if you are interested in that. All the links for that will be down in the description box below if you would like to delve into my mind a little bit more. So yes, thank you for showing up, and I will talk to you soon. Later.